Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm unboxing my Albert Kim September giveaway 2021 winnings. So I won Albert Kim's 2021 September giveaway, and so in this kit there's FPV goggles, a transmitter, and a 3-inch drone, and I will tell you guys the specifics as we open it up. Alright, so opening the box here. Alright, so in the box we have some manuals for all the stuff that's in here. So the GepRC GR8 transmitter and the FPV goggles. And then here are the goggles. So these are the GepRC RG1 FPV goggles. Here is the drone. So this is the 3-inch iH3 drone from iFlight. So there's also this bag of cables and antennas for the FPV goggles, and there's also a little video adapter, which is pretty cool. And then right here is the GepRC GR8 transmitter. So thanks Albert Kim for sending me these items. I'm definitely gonna put them to good use. And so I'm gonna jump to the specs segment now, which is actually gonna be filmed a day after this recording. Alright, so starting off with the iFlight iH3 drone. This drone has a iH3 dual split mini 3-inch frame. It is 142 millimeters. The flight controller right there is a iFlight Mini F3, just a generic flight controller, and it has a 5-volt 3-amp BEC. The ESC board is right here. It's a 4-in-1. It is the Fly Tower 15-amp BL Heli 4-in-1 ESC that supports multi-shot D-Shot 600. And these are both 20x20 boards. And then above it is a 20x20 VTX, which is the iFlight Force Mini 48 channels, 25 to 200 milliwatts. So that's right there. The motors, these motors are by iFlight, and they are 1106 6000 kV motors. They're part of the iFlight iPower brushless motor series. And then these propellers are Gemfan D63 3-blade propellers. This FPV camera is called the Cadex Turbo Micro SDR1, and then this VTX antenna is a 5.8 gigahertz antenna. It's just a generic stubby antenna. Yeah, there's some text on it. So those are the specs for this quad. Alright, so we have these GepRC RG1 FPV goggles. So they have a built-in 5.8 gigahertz receiver with dual antennas. The resolution of the screen in here is a 800 by 480 pixels. The screen is 4.3 inches, and then the dimensions of the goggles as a whole are 155 millimeters by 144 by 113 millimeters. There is a built-in battery in these goggles. It is a 1S 2000 milliamp hour battery. This supposedly works for 2.5 hours on a single charge, and the weight is 314.6 grams. Up here we have an audio jack. There is a charging port right here, and you could also probably update firmware and other things with this port. I have a magnetic adapter on here right now. And then there's a micro SD card slot right here, which you just click the card in. There's a power button and then a search button. The record button, you just press down on it to start recording, and then you hold it to stop the recording. And then channels, and then band. So, yeah. So those are the main specs of these goggles, and they're definitely pretty good beginner goggles. And finally we have this GepRC GR8 transmitter. So this transmitter operates on 2.4 gigahertz. It uses FHSS protocol. It has 8 channels. There's 4 aux switches, and then there's the gimbals, and then there's also buttons in the back. This transmitter takes 4 AA batteries. It has this little hook right here for a strap. The gimbals feel pretty good, especially for a beginner transmitter. They definitely work well, so I think anyone starting off would really like this. So all the switches are also labeled with their functionalities. So these are mode switches for different types of flight. This is buzzer and basically recovery options. And then right here, there's an extra aux switch. And then this is to disarm and then arm. Up here, you can change the model that you're binded to. So you can bind up to 3 models on this transmitter, which is also a nice feature for a beginner transmitter. And then you could turn it on and it will light up. So it will flash and vibrate to let you know that nothing is connected to it or you lost connection, which is also nice if you have goggles on. So those are specs for all 3 of these items, and now we're gonna go fly. Alright, so I have the goggles here and this bag full of stuff. So here's the antenna. And so now I am going to turn these on. So there's a power button right here. I'm gonna hold that. And the goggles are on. There's a nice big display in there. Alright, so right here I have everything, and there's no reason to go into beta flight because everything should be ready to fly basically. So I have this battery right here that I'm gonna plug in. So I have the controller right here. I'm gonna turn it on with the switch. And that light comes on. Alright, so I'm gonna plug the quadcopter in. And then once I plug it in, this controller stopped vibrating, which means that it's bound. And I should be able to arm it. So this switch right here should be the arm switch. So as you see when I flip the switch, the video is also working. Nice big display in there. Looks pretty good. So I guess all we have to do now is go take it out for a flight. So basically all my other drones use FlySky protocol, and my FlySky transmitter is currently a little bit broken. The gimbal is just a little defected, so the potentiometer doesn't really read the correct value and it kind of twitches. So because this is a smaller quad and the gimbal isn't broken on here, I'm actually going to try to do some more acrobatic moves in the flight demonstration. So we're going to go do that right now. Alright, so I have this 8GB micro SD card that I'm going to stick in this little slot like that, and it clicks into place. And I think we're ready to turn everything on. So I'm going to power this on. Let's make sure that it arms. Yep. And then I'm going to turn the goggles on. This button. And they're on. And I'm going to start DVR recording, and we're just going to go fly. Alright, so there's a little record button up here. And so when I click the record button, it starts recording. So as you can see, it's going. So I'm going to take off and we're going to fly. This should be acro mode. Wow, the rates are high on this, but it's really cool. So as you can see, I'm doing some flips, and it's working pretty well.
drone feels pretty good. The rates are really high, but it works pretty well. Flying on this quad is cool because on my long-range drone, which does have acro and normal controls, I have to cruise with that. I can't really do flips and spins, but with this one I can do full acro. Yeah, so this quad is definitely really good for acro. This is my first time flying FPV with some more flips and tricks than I would normally do. Battery's getting pretty low, but we have an okay flight time so far. My signal just cut out a little bit, so I almost missed that flip, but I'm good. Oh. Well, that's probably a good way to end that first flight. Yeah. So I'm going to keep flying on this, and I'm probably going to record another portion of flying tomorrow. So I will be back in a day. Alright, so I'm going to plug in the quad and turn everything on, and we're going to go fly. Alright, so I'm going to start recording on the goggles. I just crashed. I was trying to do flips close to the camera and I accidentally crashed into the ground. Alright, let's go back up. Yeah, so this quad is really smooth. For a beginner transmitter, this thing is definitely a great beginner transmitter. The gimbals feel really good.
for potentiometer gimbals. And yeah, the reception obviously breaks up from simple blockades, but it's not too bad. Yeah, and these goggles also work really well. Their reception is really good on them. There's not too much breakup, and it definitely works for just some light acro in the park or just close by. Let me see how close I can get here. Alright, so my recording just ended, but I just started it again. I ran out of storage on my phone, so I had to delete some old footage. That was my bad, so we're gonna take this back up. Alright, we're taking it back up. So I'm just gonna ignore the low battery because it's set really high right now. It's set to like 3.5 volts, so I'm gonna fly this down to like maybe 3.2 or 3.3. There's a little bit of breakup. I think that's going to do it for this video. It's really fun to fly. I'm definitely going to make more videos of flight footage and stuff with this in the future, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.